Have you ever picked up an ordinary-looking penny and wondered if it could actually be worth a fortune? Well, today we're diving into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, the 1982 Lincoln penny, a 1-cent coin that, believe it or not, can be worth as much as $6.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny that could turn an everyday pocket find into life-changing money. The 1982 Lincoln penny is one of the most unique and important coins ever minted by the United States Mint. At first glance, it looks like just another copper-colored coin with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. But 1982 was a very special year for pennies because it marked a major change in the history of U.S. coinage. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper, about 95% copper and 5% zinc. But due to the rising cost of copper in the late 1970s and early 1980s, it became too expensive for the government to keep making them. So, in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched the penny's composition to a core of 97.5% zinc coated with a thin layer of copper. This meant pennies were much cheaper to produce. Here's the interesting part. During that transition year, both copper pennies and zinc pennies were struck. And not just that. There are 7 different recognized varieties of the 1982 penny, including small date and large date designs made in both copper and zinc. Now, what makes the 1982 Lincoln penny so valuable? The rarest and most valuable versions are the transitional errors, coins that were struck in the wrong metal. For example, some 1982 pennies intended to be made of zinc were accidentally struck on copper planchets. And those are the ones that collectors go crazy for. 1 of these ultra-rare transitional 1982 Lincoln pennies has been sold at auction for $6.8 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever. Imagine holding a coin that's supposed to be worth 1 cent but instead is valued higher than most luxury homes. Collectors pay attention to a few key things when it comes to the 1982 penny. The weight. Copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams. While zinc pennies weigh only 2.5 grams. If you find a 1982 penny, weigh it carefully because the weight alone could reveal if you've got a valuable variety. The date style. There are large date and small date varieties. Both exist in copper and zinc, and certain combinations are much rarer. Mint marks. Some were made in Philadelphia with no mint mark, and some in Denver with a DE mint mark. Specific errors in these can make the coin worth a fortune. Condition. Like all coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. Uncirculated 1982 pennies with no scratches or wear can bring in serious money. Over the years, collectors have battled in auction houses to own these special 1982 Lincoln pennies. While common ones are only worth face value, the rare transitional errors have been sold for hundreds of thousands. And the most famous sale hit an unbelievable $6.8 million. That's what makes the 1982 penny such a legendary coin in the world of numismatics. The best part is, these coins are still out there. Millions of 1982 pennies were made, and while most are common zinc or copper coins worth only a cent, a lucky few are the rare transitional errors worth life-changing amounts of money. That means the next time you get change at the store or dig through an old jar of coins, you could stumble upon one of the most valuable pennies in the world. So, the next time you see a 1982 penny, don't ignore it. Check the weight, examine the date, and look closely at the details. Because what looks like a simple copper coin could actually be hiding a fortune. And who knows? Maybe your pocket change is holding the next $1 million treasure. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the incredible story of the 1982 Lincoln penny, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and share this video with your friends so they can check their pennies too. Who knows? One of you might be holding a $6.8 million coin right now. Well, today we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent coin. At first glance, it looks like just another ordinary penny in your change jar. But what if I told you that some rare versions of this coin have been sold for an unbelievable $6.7 million? That's right, a single cent turning into a fortune. Stay with me as we uncover the history, details, errors, and hidden value behind this iconic coin. The background of the 1980 Lincoln penny. Let's start with a little history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it became the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of an actual president. By the time 1980 came around, the Lincoln cent had already been circulating for over 70 years. In this year, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies at 3 locations: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark, Denver, D Mint Mark San Francisco, S Mint Mark, mostly proof coins. The 1980 penny was still being made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. This is important, because just 2 years later, in 1982, the Mint switched to a cheaper composition of 97.5% zinc and only 2.5% copper, making the 1980 coin one of the last solid copper Lincoln cent design features. The obverse, or front, shows the famous bust of Abraham Lincoln with the words, "In God We Trust." Above his head, Liberty, on the left, and the date, 1980, on the right. On the reverse side, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, with the words, "United States of America," across the top. E pluribus unum, just above the memorial, and 1 cent, at the bottom. Interestingly, if you look closely at the memorial under magnification, you can even see the tiny statue of Lincoln sitting inside, a detail many collectors love. How many were made? The Mint struck an incredible number of pennies in 1980. Philadelphia, over 7.4 billion. Denver, over 5 billion. San Francisco proofs, around 3.5 million, with billions produced. You might think these coins aren't rare. But the truth is, condition, rarity, and errors make all the difference. Error coins and rarity. This is where the real money comes in. While most 1980 pennies are only worth face value, certain error coins and high-grade examples are worth thousands, and in some shocking cases, millions. Here are some key errors collectors hunt for. Double die obverse, where the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, appears double dot off center strike, when the coin isn't aligned properly during minting, leaving part of the design missing. Clipped planchet ***, a penny missing a curved piece due to an error in cutting the blank coin, wrong planchet. Strikes, rare cases where pennies were struck on dime or foreign coin blanks. And the rarest of all? Perfect high-grade mint state coins, especially those certified by PCGS or NGC at grades MS67 or higher. Value of the 1980 Lincoln penny. Now here's where it gets exciting. A regular circulated 1980 penny is worth just 1 cent, and uncirculated examples can fetch $1 to $50, depending on condition. Proof coins from San Francisco can bring $20 to $200. Rare errors and high-grade varieties can reach into the thousands of dollars. But the jaw-dropping fact is that a few ultra-rare, perfectly preserved, and error-struck examples have been auctioned for staggering amounts, with the record price going as high as $6.7 million. Imagine finding that in your pocket change. You might ask, why would anyone pay millions for a penny? The answer comes down to 3 things: scarcity, condition, and collector demand. The rarest errors are essentially one of a kind. Combine that with a pristine condition coin and a passionate collector willing to pay any price, and suddenly a penny becomes a treasure. If you want to hunt for these gems, here are some tips. 1. Always check your pocket change carefully, especially older pennies before 1982.2. Use a magnifying glass to look for doubling, errors, or unique features. 3. Keep coins in protective holders to prevent damage. 4. If you believe you have a valuable coin, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. So the next time you see a 1980 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You might be holding a tiny piece of history worth millions of dollars. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and share this video with fellow treasure hunters. Who knows, maybe the next millionaire coin finder could be you. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change, because even a penny can change your life. Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving deep into the story of one of the most shocking and valuable Lincoln pennies ever discovered, the 1974 1-cent coin, a coin that looks so ordinary but in rare cases has been valued at a jaw-dropping $6.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny, something most of us ignore on the sidewalk, could be worth more than luxury mansions, sports cars, and even a private jet. But what makes this coin so special? Let's find out. The history of the 1974 Lincoln penny ***. The Lincoln cent has been in production since 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln, and by 1974 it was already one of the most recognized coins in American history. But the year 1974 was very different for the U.S. Mint. During the early 1970s, the United States was facing skyrocketing copper prices. Believe it or not, the cost of the metal inside a penny was getting dangerously close to being worth more than the coin itself. If copper prices kept rising, people could melt pennies for profit, a nightmare for the U.S. Mint. So, in 1974, the Mint began experimenting with alternative materials to replace the traditional copper alloy. Among these experiments, the Mint struck a limited number of aluminum pennies, a completely new type of Lincoln cent. These test coins were lighter, shinier, and very different from what Americans were used to. The rare 1974 aluminum cent mystery ***. The Mint reportedly struck more than 1.5 million aluminum cents for testing, but most were never released to the public. Almost all of them were ordered to be melted down and destroyed. However, a handful of these coins escaped into the world, given to members of Congress and Mint officials as samples. Today, only a few genuine 1974 aluminum pennies are known to exist, and they are among the rarest coins in U.S. history. Because they were never officially released, they are considered experimental and are often the subject of heated debate among collectors, dealers, and even the government. Why is the 1974 penny worth $6.4 million? So, how could one of these coins reach a value of $6.4 million? The answer lies in three powerful factors. With only a tiny handful in existence, the 1974 aluminum cent is considered one of the rarest modern coins ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Rarity always drives value in numismatics. Point 2. Historical significance. This penny tells the story of America's economic struggle with inflation and the rising cost of materials. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of history. Point 3. Collector demand. Wealthy collectors are always on the hunt for unique treasures. When two or more determined buyers compete at auction for a one-of-a-kind coin, the price can skyrocket into the millions. One famous example includes a 1974 aluminum Lincoln penny once linked to a former U.S. Capitol Police officer's collection. Stories like this add drama, and now you might be asking, could I have one of these million-dollar pennies in my own pocket? The answer is, extremely unlikely, but not impossible. Most 1974 pennies you see are the standard copper-plated zinc or bronze coins. They look ordinary and are worth only face value unless they are in mint condition, in which case they might bring a few dollars from collectors. But the legendary 1974 aluminum penny is lighter than a regular cent, has a different silvery color, and feels unlike any other coin. If you ever come across something like that, you could be holding a fortune in your hands. Today, experts estimate that a genuine 1974 aluminum penny could fetch up to $6.4 million at auction depending on its condition and legal ownership status. That makes it one of the most valuable modern Lincoln pennies in existence. So there you have it. The story of the 1974 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a penny that turned into a multi-million-dollar treasure. It's proof that history, rarity, and a little mystery can turn the most ordinary object into something priceless. Next time you're checking your change, don't ignore those pennies. You never know, the smallest coin in your wallet could make you a millionaire. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. Who knows, maybe one of them is sitting on a fortune in pennies right now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting! Welcome back to the channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in U.S. history, ***, the 1970 Lincoln penny ***, a coin that might look ordinary, but in rare cases, it has been valued at a jaw-dropping $6.3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So stay tuned, because this little copper coin might just make you a millionaire. History of the 1970 penny, ***, the Lincoln penny has been in circulation since 1909, honoring the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. By 1970, the design had already become an American classic, Lincoln's portrait on the obverse, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The 1970 penny was minted in two main locations, Philadelphia and San Francisco. And here's where things get interesting. Certain varieties, mint errors, and special proof coins from this year are what make the 1970 penny so incredibly valuable to collectors. Why is the 1970 penny special? The 1970 penny is famous because of rare minting mistakes and extremely limited proof issues. For example, ***, the 1970s small date proof penny is one of the most sought after varieties. Only a handful exist in pristine condition, and they can fetch thousands, even hundreds of thousands, depending on grade. ***, certain double die errors on the obverse show strong doubling on the date, or the lettering, Liberty, and In God We Trust. These mistakes transform a common penny into a collector's dream. Ultra-rare full red gem-proof examples from 1970 have shocked the coin collecting world with astronomical auction prices. And in one extraordinary case, a unique 1970s variety in nearly perfect condition sold for an unbelievable $6.3 million at auction. How to spot a rare 1970 penny. ***, if you have a 1970 penny in your collection or your pocket change, here's what to look for. 1. Check the mint mark. S stands for San Francisco. Some of the most valuable 1970 pennies came from this mint. 2. Look at the date. If the numbers look unusually small or thick, you might have the rare, small date, variety. 3. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass and check for doubling on the date, lettering, or Lincoln's face. 4. Condition is key. Coins graded as mint state, or proof, with little to no wear are worth far more than circulated ones. So, what is your 1970 penny worth? ***, a common 1970 penny in circulated condition may only be worth its face value of 1 cent. ***, a 1970s small date penny in high grade can be worth anywhere from $500 to $10,000. A double die obverse error can range from $1,000 to $30,000 depending on condition. And the finest proof 1970s penny, a one-of-a-kind piece, shattered records by selling for an incredible $6.3 million, making it one of the most valuable pennies in existence. Collectors and investors are willing to pay such sums because these coins are not only rare but also represent a piece of American history that will never be minted again. So, the next time you find a 1970 penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. It might not just be a penny, it could be your ticket to millions. The story of the 1970 Lincoln penny proves that history, rarity, and condition can turn an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure worth $6.3 million. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible coin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. Who knows? They might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Stay tuned for more videos on the world's rarest and most valuable coins. And remember, always check your change. You never know what treasure you might be holding.